Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Betty from Switch and Click, and today we'll be doing a deep dive into the Drop CTRL mechanical keyboard. It's Tenkeyless and it costs about $200. Is it even worth it? Let's find out. If you're new here, I'm Betty. This is Switch and Click. We dive deep into mechanical keyboards and do straightforward and honest mechanical keyboard reviews for you guys. If you have any suggestions on what you want us to review, just leave a comment down below and we'll try and purchase it and review it. But let's jump into the Drop CTRL mechanical keyboard. It's super popular right now. It's always sold out on the internet pretty much, and there's always like pre-orders going on. There's a bunch of questions. It has a lot of different options, a lot more than most of the keyboards that we've reviewed so far. It's $200 right now for the Drop CTRL. They have the Drop Alt, which is a 65% version, for $180 for their normal version and $220 I believe for their high profile version. It's pretty much the exact same thing except a different size. So let's dive into some of these really cool features that it has. First of all, if we look at the back, it doesn't have 4, but it has 6 rubber feet. It doesn't really move anywhere when you put it on your table. Alongside that, it has a full aluminum build, the front plate, the case, pretty much everything. It has 0 flex at all. If you see around here, it has this plastic see-through area for the side lights and the side RGBs. If you think that this is weird that there's a ton of different colored switches, it's because this keyboard is hot-swappable. That means you can just pull the switches out, put some new ones in, see whatever you like, try different things. We've put a whole bunch of Kale switches inside this mechanical keyboard just to see it, try it out. If you want to see that video where we try out 24 different Kale switches, just press here or it'll be down in the show notes for later if you want to watch that. But the keycaps are PBT double shot shine through keycaps. The RGB shines through really nice and bright. It also has a floating keycap style design, so you can see all the switches through it. And the colors are pretty unique. We have this like space gray aluminum color, and then we have a light gray and a dark gray for some of these special keys. It does have a standard layout, so you can change these keycaps to be whatever you want. I've seen really nice ones where they put fancy GMK keycaps on here, so it looks a little bit different. We have just the regular keycap set. You can buy this as bare bones. You can buy different switches. It comes with either Halo switches, Kale switches, or Cherry MX switches, and their price points are different depending on what you go for. We'll put a link to this keyboard down below so you can see all of its options. You can also buy keycap sets with a $10 discount with this, so very nice. Let's talk about some of its other features. Alright, so the Drop CTRL comes with different accessories. It comes with a switch puller, a keycap puller, and 2 magnetic feet that just snap onto the bottom to change up the typing angle. We have these holes here throughout, so you can put them any angle you want. You can do the regular one just to give you a little bit of an incline, but you can also switch these around and put them towards the front. I don't know any people who would do something like that. That's pretty weird. The switches that we got are the Halo Clears. It has a clear housing with cherry style stems, compatible with all keycaps pretty much. And we have a bunch of these because our switches are different right now. So we have a whole container of them. Okay, some other pretty cool things is that it's fully programmable with QMK firmware. From what I have experienced with, the firmware is a little bit difficult to use, but you can change the layouts, you can change the different layers, do whatever you want to it pretty much. You can change the RGB lighting to whatever you want. It has a bunch of different pre-programmed effects already, but you can do whatever you want online with that firmware. It's on drop once you go into the product page and go into their QMK configuration. And then it has dual USB-C connectors. So there's one on the left side, there's one on the right side. Depending on where your computer is relative to your keyboard, you can pick either hole. It comes with a detachable USB-C cable, but it's not really anything special. It's just a normal USB-C cable. It's sticking out right here. Not anything special. Pretty much you would imagine that with a $200 keyboard you would get a nice braided cable, or I don't know, just something different, but it's just your average regular cable. I'm gonna plug it in, but first let's talk about some of the big major problems that this keyboard has. I've owned it for 6 months now, and one of the main big problems that I've seen is the key chattering. When I type really fast or type a whole lot, the space bar will input more than one time, or even different letters. I've seen A input multiple times a lot, D, M, primarily the space bar though, and it gets really annoying after a while. This wasn't a big problem when I first bought it, but then a month in it started happening a lot, and I've noticed in the discussion forums and in the review section of this keyboard on Drop, a lot of people say that they have the same problem. So Drop came out with a small solution, so they say, where you flash your keyboard with the configuration that they give you. But I've done that multiple times. It still has a key chattering problem. I'd say for $200, having something like this really isn't worth it. There's a lot cheaper, better options out there that are more reliable. I think that one problem really turns me off to the keyboard. I mean, I'm still typing on it because obviously I own it now and have to use it, and it's great. The typing experience itself is amazing. The RGB is great. The sturdiness, the case, all of that is all pros, but this one con sort of just outweighs it all. Another small con is that every time you plug it in, it shows the exact same RGB lighting pattern every time you plug it in. Look, it's beautiful. It's just a beautiful keyboard, but I like to keep it set on a certain pattern. I like the side lighting to be off. You can pick whether you want it to be on or off. If you press FN here and Z, you can turn it off. You can turn just the switches on, or you can turn both off or keep them on. We have some pre-programmed effects. We have the initial rainbow breathe one. To change colors, you just press FN and D. We have this one. This one's my fave. I keep this on at all times. Yellow, red, green, blue, and white. And then a red breathe. And then just a red, off. And then we can turn up brightness and down brightness. So overall, really nice. And it has cherry style stabilizers. We've taken it apart. We've modded the stabilizers. We've clipped, lubed, and Band-Aid modded our stabilizers. So it sounds a little bit different. And during the typing test, you'll probably hear that the stabilizers are quieter than the keys themselves, and that's because of that. And if you're interested in modding your stabilizers, we have a video called the top 5 mistakes you might make when modding your stabilizers, and trust me, that video will be super helpful because we made all 5 mistakes. It took me approximately 4 hours to mod them, and honestly it shouldn't take you that long. I'm just a super noob and can't read directions for my life, so that's what happened. Alright, so the verdict for this keyboard 6 months in is that although I love it and I enjoy using it every day, and the typing experience is great feel wise and click wise, the reliability for me is a bit sketchy. So for $200, I don't think I would buy this again. There's just other options out there that are probably around this price point that also have a full aluminum case, that are also hot swappable but are reliable and don't chatter. I would probably consider getting the Drop Alt. I haven't heard any key chattering problems with that specific keyboard, although that's a 65%, which I love, would be perfect. But it's too late now. You can't undo some of your decisions. But for a mechanical keyboard recommendation with a full aluminum frame, we really recommend the HyperX Alloy Origins Core. We did a full in-depth review right here if you're interested in watching. Alright, for more mechanical keyboard reviews, we got a playlist right here, and for a recommendation, the HyperX Alloy Origins Core, which also has a full aluminum frame. Click right here and subscribe down below if you enjoy watching videos like this one, and I'll see you in the next one.